You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio. You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.
Welcome to another great edition of Cajun Sports Radio. On Sunday afternoon here, we were supposed to get out a promotion about it being on a Sunday night, but it didn't go through. We had some problems with the internet provider. I'm sorry, the radio provider. But this is Sunday, May 19th, and we got a couple of things we're going to do differently today. We're going to implicate some new talk in. And as I do that, I welcome my co-host, Coyote Burrell. What's going on there?
Hey, my boy. What's going
on? We're going to talk a bunch of topics here. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA basketball, update you on what's going on with LSU, baseball and softball in Coyote segment, give you your weekly Saints and LSU news, and that's the show. You know, that's what we're going to do. Starting next week, we will be live. We will be a 2-hour show from 5 or either 6. What do you want to do? That 6 to 8 or 5 to 7? Over the next couple of. For the next.
Whatever you want to do, Lane.
Okay, we'll let y'all know. We're going to start doing a promotion on Fridays, telling you exactly when the show's going to be, what time, everything like that. I got it worked out now to where we could do it. And just look for it on Friday afternoons or Saturday mornings, and you know exactly what time the show is going to be. But, Dad, me and you talked about implicating something else because at this time of the year, things start slowing down. And I know a lot of people around here get into the outdoor talk and fishing, hunting, and stuff like that. And this time of the year, everybody's fishing. So, let's implicate some fishing talk, Dad. What do you say?
Oh, yeah, we had a great weekend this weekend. Me and Lane went fishing yesterday and today. Yesterday went better than today. Today was a total disaster. We should have kept the boat parked.
Yeah, we'll get to that story and some news on that, but Dad, go ahead and explain, the situation of the camp and everything like that. Go ahead and open it.
Yeah, we went to the camp and fished. We did good yesterday. We had a good time. Trying to get Lane into bass fishing. He always liked to fish, but he's more. He's doing good. He wants to get more into it. And it was in the river, the Red River. I don't know if y'all know too much about it. But anyway, and today we went back to the river, but every possible thing that could go wrong went wrong. We just had bad luck. Yeah. And didn't put a fish in the boat.
Didn't put what? We put what? We put 10 in the boat.
Something like that.
Yesterday, we explain the type of basses we caught. Dad, explain the type of everything like that we caught outdoor. Big mouth bass. We got a lot of Kentucky bass. You're talking about the Red River here. Mm-hmm. We
got a lot of Kentucky bass. Caught a couple of bar fish. Even hooked on the big old buffalo. I don't even know if y'all know what that is. Anyway, but Lane finally he caught a few bass. He did good. Yeah. Well,
the thing is, where I'm going with this is explaining to people, what to expect what's hitting at this time of the year? What bait to primarily use that you would think at this time of the year? Yeah.
Right now, a lot of it's crankbait. A lot of the crankbait this time of the year against the rocks. A lot of it, Lane caught one yesterday with a spinnerbait, but a lot of it's crankbait right now in the river itself. And a shad color's good. A shad color.
Right.
But fishing is going to get better. It's going to get better. We got another good month, I'd say, and it's going to get better before it gets too hot. You know, we're in Indiana here. It gets too hot. In June and July, if you're going to go fishing, you got to go early in the morning. It's kind of hard for Lane, but you got to go early in the morning. You know, you can't go fishing at 9 o'clock. Anyway.
Oh, he's going to make me hear that all day. But no, and what I was getting at is I think maybe, we'll talk about the times of the day to fish and, maybe the temperatures of the water and where, like you said, by the rocks. Maybe we can compare some stories with our listeners and see the different things that they're, using and how they're doing it. But I think, at this time of the year, like you said, this was a good weekend, I think, because this was the first weekend it got real hot,
Yeah,
I think the water temperature.
Yeah, the water temperature right now, y'all, you ain't going to get in the water and swim. We seen that today. We had to get in the water.
Well, hold on, let's start. I tell you what.
To get the boat out.
Start the story from the beginning for the day.
We just went from an ox boat to get to the river that we have never been there. And so, in so many words, we got stuck in the sand. So we had to get out the boat, me and Lane, and the water was cold, and push the boat out. And like I said, we should have went to the camp where I'm used to all that. But no, we go somewhere else. I still don't understand that. And we dry docked it. And then we go to put the trolling motor down, we broke the rope twice. If y'all know what I'm talking about, broke it twice. Then I go to unhook the boat, I break the cable. Nothing went right, and we did not put a fish in the boat.
Not one. You got
$4 of quarters to wash it. That's so much mud that entered the boat. But anyway,
and that was the. No, I'm sorry, Dad. Go ahead.
I say anyway. That was the day, but it was fun to spend time with Lane.
Yeah, we yesterday, like you said, I used that bleeding shad. I used that crankbait. And today we moved. Remember we tried them shiners too. We tried the shiners.
Couldn't do nothing.
Today
was a bad day.
I even put a spinnerbait on mine, and we couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I got a good friend of mine that's in contact. They went fish Saline this morning, so I don't feel as bad, Lane. They didn't put a fish in the boat either. So the fish was not biting today. That's all I could say. Now, maybe this evening, they might be tearing them up right now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's fishing, y'all.
We're going to talk about this, in weeks. I just wanted to open up this new segment of what we're going to start doing. We're going to start talking a little bit of fishing talk because we got a lot of people around here who get into the outdoor stuff. And if you want to come on and talk fishing, let us know. We'd love for, we'd love to get your aspect and tell us what you hitting on. But let's get into sports talking right now. It's the NBA. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll say, I'm ready for, start talking about sports.
Okay, well, technically, fishing is sport. That's considered sports too. But Saturday night. Well, basically, we're down now to 4 teams. San Antonio eliminated Golden State. Miami eliminated Chicago. Indiana eliminated New York. And Memphis eliminated... I had a mind blank. Memphis. Who did Memphis eliminate? I don't know why I can't... Oklahoma City. I don't know why it took me so long to remember.
Yeah, the Thunder.
Yeah, Oklahoma City.
I thought you heard me say it. But,
I didn't. You didn't say it, but okay.
Yeah,
But and then today we started the semifinals, and the Spurs completely destroyed Memphis from start to finish. Memphis kind of got a little run going towards the end.
I was bored.
But for the most part, and I'm going to get to that in a little while about the playoffs, but for the most part, I mean, San Antonio just put it to Memphis. I mean,
they're coming alive. They do it every year.
Every year, and look.
Yeah, nothing surprising to me.
And you look at what they've been doing, like what they did against Golden State. They moved the ball around. All of their players score in double figures. They move the rock around, and they get everybody involved at this time of the year. That way, one player doesn't get burnt out. What I've seen with Golden State, they ran out of legs. Golden State would rely on jump shots. They'd score all those points with jump shots. And they were done. They burnt their star out, Curry. And by game 3, he was finished. That whole team had no legs. They were done. And that's what I'm going to get into the topic here. But before I change subjects into that, right out of the gate, San Antonio outscored Memphis 31-14 in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's crazy. They just come out the gate wide open.
And then Memphis outscored San Antonio in the second and third quarter by a combined 5 points. But then come the fourth quarter, San Antonio kicked the fuel up and got the job done, and cruised past the Memphis Grizzlies. Give you some main talking. What I want to get into real quick, Dad, is that something I noticed over the last 2 weeks is that the playoffs aren't as fun anymore, and I know why. They're getting boring. And I know why. These teams are burnt, slap out. And it's obvious. Their legs are gone. They're part of that. They're playing every other day. And it's too much. To have this high.
They've been doing that for years. What's the difference?
You see it every year. You see it every year. It's high intensity, and a lot of teams they're wore out. And it's a different time to team. Now, is Miami burnt out? No.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You don't see LeBron James burn out.
It's because they ain't been playing that many games. Look, the first round, they got it done in 4. It was a sweep. Against Chicago, they only played 5. But then you look at a team like Golden State that's having to travel a lot. Because where they're at, they're having to do a lot of traveling. Their first series, they had to do a lot of traveling. And then this last one against San Antonio, they had to do a lot of traveling. Their legs are gone. You can obviously see it, Dad. I mean, it gets to my point, though. As good of a shooting team that you think you might be, I've watched it year after year, not only in the NBA but in college. If you rely on jump shots, you're in trouble. Because your shot's going to cool off.
It's not going to you can't just rely on that, Lane. You got to have an inside game.
Exactly. You got to create easy baskets for yourself. You got to be able to take the ball inside. San Antonio, most of what they do, 9 out of 10, they do shoot a lot of jump shots. But let me tell you something. When they need an easy basket, Parker could drive to the hole, or they give it to Big Duncan. He's been doing it for years, those hook shots. But they got an inside game. Miami has an inside game. Memphis has an unbelievable inside game. That's how they took down Oklahoma City. And then, of course, Indiana. Now, that's what's going to be fun to watch, Dad. Indiana has a really good inside game. What do you see with Indiana and Miami? You think we got a chance at maybe a 6 or 7 game series with Indiana and Miami?
Oh, yeah. Like that series, it will. That's going to be a good series. But Miami in the end going to come out with it.
Oh, yeah. Miami's going to win the whole thing.
They just got so much. I seen that game the other night. My God. They got so much talent. They just switch bench, you know what I mean? They just pull them in, pull them out. It don't make them no difference.
Yeah, they're very talented. And people don't give respect to not when you talk Miami, it's LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. But really, they got a lot of good role players, like the Birdman used to play in New Orleans. Ray Allen,
You got a bench, Lane. Not to say, change the subject here. Me and Lane, we like to go watch the high school basketball playoffs, too. This year, we couldn't go. Anyway, last year before. And here we go. Every time Peabody around the house, they would go in the finals, they had a bench. He could pull them in. Don't matter if you start. He had 12 guys that would rotate so fast that you know what I mean? The talent. You got to have a bench sitting down waiting to play. And that was the Lakers' problem. They didn't have that this year.
Well, they didn't have starters either, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, they didn't have that bench that they could pull in and out. The Hornets, that's another thing. They have no bench.
Yeah. Which, believe it or not to go against you, they got some decent, role players that come off the bench. I think the Hornets' problem is, I know their bench could get better.
Did they make the playoffs?
Yeah, but I don't think that's their only problem. Believe me, they got more problems. It's not because they have a weak man. Yeah, they don't have any star players that can. Right. They got Anthony, who's coming up, the guy out of Kentucky, but he's.
Oh, yeah, but come on, that's just one man. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something. You make or break behind one man. You make or break in this league behind one man on your team. That's how you bring stars to your team. If Chris Paul comes back to the Hornets today, he hasn't been in the playoffs this season. I can promise you. You put Chris Paul back on the Hornets today.
Chris Paul you talking about?
Well, I'm saying, you put LeBron on the Hornets today. They back in the playoffs next year.
I heard next year he's going to probably be in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, you think that would be something, Lane?
No, we couldn't touch his salary. Couldn't touch it.
Tom Benson couldn't do it?
No. Not in a spot. He probably could, but you think he's going out of his own pocket? You think he's going to go out of his own pocket?
Right, I see what you're talking about.
No. And plus you got... you think he wants to play in New Orleans? Let me tell you something. You think Tom Benson's got some money? But you see that Bus family in L.A., the Lakers, you think Tom Benson is rich. The Bus family wipes him out in L.A.
Different class. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Tom Benson got a football team, too, so...
Doesn't matter. The Lakers organization is worth, it's probably about 5 times what the Saints is worth. 5-10 times what the Saints. You know how much money that Lakers... Look at the stands, man. They say it's so hard to get a seat. It's nothing but movie stars in the stands, man.
Yeah.
It's money over there, man. They win. They don't lose. They don't lose.
Well, that's why when they come to New Orleans, they sell out, right? People want to see them. Yeah. That's sad to say. But people from here want to see them.
That's when the Hornets, that's when they get their biggest push. Is when, they have a good team come in. That's when they do the best in attendance. But you see that everywhere. Years ago, when you had bad teams, the only time they would really get good attendance is when Michael Jordan would come into the building, or a big-name player like that, Magic Johnson. But tonight we're going to do something different. No commercial break. We're going to run it straight through and cut off a little early, Dad. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Lane. Well, that's fine.
We're going to run it. We're time constrained, and that's my fault. We started a little too late.
Plus, we had trouble with the internet. Again, that wasn't us, y'all.
Yeah. We couldn't get it. Things were messing up. Spreaker gave. Well, we're not going to get into all this, but bottom line here, it's going to be Spurs Miami. Is that what you're projecting in the finals?
Oh, yeah. And I tell you what, Lane, do you think it's going to go to Game 7?
And what's in between the Spurs and Miami, if it goes that to them too?
If it does happen like that.
Yeah. It's all. Let me tell you how it's going to go. It all depends on what happens in these series here. If San Antonio can take care of Memphis pretty easily, then they'll be good and rested. If Miami has trouble with Indiana, it's going to be interesting. It's going to really dictate where we're at in the finals. It really is. Because every extra game that you got to play is harder on your body. It makes a difference. I've seen it. Yep. It makes a difference. Yep. And look at Miami, man. They look like they just started. You watch a team, man, like I said, Golden State was probably the most obvious. A team that relied on jump shots. Yeah, that relied on jump shots. Just couldn't go anymore. They were fried. It was over with. But it's going to be interesting to see how things continue to roll and keep going. But real quick, let's update you on some NFL. I'm sorry, anything else on the NBA before we move on?
No, that's about it.
Okay. What did we get the most in NFL news this week? I'm trying to.
There wasn't that much going on, Lane. Don't think. Oh, there is this thing. The honey badger. Boy, they talking big with him. With that.
Yeah. I heard
Lord,
about
like that has been the talk of. Coach said that's the best move they ever made. What you think about that, Lane?
Everybody knows how talented he is. That wasn't no secret. That just goes to show you that if this guy didn't have all these off the field issues, what he could be. That's what's holding him back.
Right.
That's what's been holding him back. Nobody's ever questioned how good he was on the field.
The talent's there.
And that's what I was discussing with somebody this week. Oh, man, Honey Badger, he's doing good. Like I told him, you act surprised. Nobody ever, we forget because that's the problem, though, in this country. If you're talented and you're a talented athlete, when you do stupid things off the field, people forget that about your talent. They honestly do. They overwhelm that. Cecil Collins always comes up. His name comes up for the same thing.
That was the biggest bust, they said. And this was
he was talented, though.
On
he was
him.
Talented.
And you know what? He wrote an article, y'all, in the Town Talk where we at about 8 months ago. He wrote an article. And to say, they had everything, what happened. Like the best players from Louisiana. He come out of Leesville. They had an article, and he ended up writing some of it. Said that was the biggest disaster. If he could take it back today, he spent time, y'all. That's how good this guy was. He just blew it.
You got to correct yourself on that, not to go against you. You just said he spent time. That's how good he was. What does that mean?
No, but he could have went. You know what I mean? Yeah. He had it. He had it. The talent was there.
You talk to anybody, they say he was probably one of the best to ever come out of LSU.
Yeah, Lane. He was the fastest. He's from Leesville. Yeah. He was the fastest, they said. But he ended up going the other way.
He's not. No, that's wrong. He's not the fastest. Trenton Holiday was the fastest.
Oh, yeah, well. Yeah, but he was,
I'm sorry, I got to go against you today.
Anyway, he blew it just like a lot of others blow it.
Yeah.
They can't help themselves.
Can't help themselves. And I guess now we're going to talk some LSU. Since we got any more into LSU stuff first, we're going to talk LSU news and notes. LSU football. We put that in a whole other category. In Dad's segment, we'll talk LSU baseball, softball. But LSU football news, Dad. What? I know we keep bringing in new topics every week. Anything else on the
Cameron Hill?
Yeah. Any news on that?
Cameron Hill?
Yeah.
No, Lane. The last I heard this week, where they were just waiting on, the court. You know what I mean? The legal system to take his. You know what I mean? He's just suspended right now and just waiting on what's gonna happen. That's all I know.
And that's
now I did hear he's suspended. He was started.
Yeah,
but we talked about that last week.
And I'm gonna tell you, and like I said, there's people disappointed and mad in him, and it just hurts the team. And I know we get more into this when we talk about this on a weekly basis. It's going to come to a point, though, that that people need to realize it's not just LSU. I read something in the paper, and this was not in the paper, on the internet, that said that LSU is like number 8 in SEC arrest. They're not even in the top 5 in SEC arrest. Alabama's in front of them in SEC arrest. So let's kind of, but the thing is, and where I argued is, I think you look at like Alabama, Dad, and you look at the other teams. When they get arrested, some no-name players. You notice that? Like when Alabama, when them boys beat the crap out of that guy and all that, it was no names. But you look at LSU, it seems like every time somebody gets in trouble with LSU, it's always the big names for LSU, and I think that's what hurts them.
That's what hurts us. It's always a big name.
It's always the big names.
Yep. When you're a no-name lane, they ain't gonna make a big deal about it. It's like NFL. When it's a no-name. I know we got 106 days away for the. Let's see.
Now, this is interesting.
LSU, see, 106 days away. God dang, that ain't far, no.
Now you ain't gonna, not to go against you. This is unreal. Let me tell you how big of an ego Nick Saban has. Saban, starting a few days ago, has been sitting. He has this portrait. Let me see if I can send it to you. That is of every. It's all together. It has the jersey, the NFL jersey number of every single player he's done sent to the draft, to the pros. It has Jamarcus Russell. That it's a big collage, and he's been tweeting this out to prospects. He sends this to future recruits, like saying, "Hey, you want to come to Alabama? This is where you're going to end up. You're going to end up in the NFL." That's what I do. I send. Let me see if I can send this to you here. It's unreal. It's a collage of Nick Saban's players that everybody, going back from the LSU days, it's all in there. But here it is, Dad. It's going to be on your thing. But the thing here is, though, you say what you want about Nick Saban, I looked at his average recruiting class.
One of the best. He's the best.
You look at his average recruiting class is a 1.75 over the last 4 years. You know how good that is? That means
he's the best.
That his average recruiting class is between 1 and 2 every single year.
Can you imagine?
LSU doesn't even have a 5 in that, or a 6. That's unreal. It's just he's mopping up, and I know we kind of went off subject, but he will go down as being the best if he stays at LSU. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I'm going to say this. Love him or hate him, he gets the job done,
Yep.
He gets the job done. And another news, Les Miles is now sporting the sombrero around everywhere. Him and his wife have been walking around in sombreros. So
for what?
Look. I got a picture of this, him and his wife.
Well, the one before is still loading up. It ain't sending.
It's still loading.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while for it to go through, but we are broadcasting in different locations today. But bottom line here, is I think what we can continue to go back to is that in college football, you could be the best coach in the world. Some people might argue that Les Miles has coaching attributes that are better than Saban's. Who would argue that? I don't know. But you got to be able to recruit. And
that's what it's all about.
You got to be able to bring recruits in. If Saban's got to send a collage of every single NFL college player he sent to the pros, then why not?
Yeah.
But it's people continue to forget. Every year, you look into LSU. Everybody always has expectations that they're in the offseason. LSU's going to be unreal, this and that. We have high expectations. I'm telling you now, even though we brought in the new offensive coordinator, Cam Cameron, that this team is going to lose some games this year. And it might not be because of the offense, but we got a lot of new faces on defense. And this is not a team that's going to go to the national championship. They might, but the problem is, if they would, it would be a miracle. Because the problem is, players left, Dad, that weren't supposed to leave.
That's what hurt us. That's exactly what a lot of them left. Go ahead, that was one big discouragement there. That was not supposed to happen.
And
not at all.
How about this? We keep going into Nick Saban. I don't know if you heard about this week, that he was called a devil by one of his assistant coaches. Yeah, that's been a big story.
Wow.
Yeah, one of his old assistant coaches called him a devil. How about that? Yeah.
I didn't see that, Lane.
Tim Davis, yeah. And, I heard a little bit about it. It disappointed Nick Saban. That's what we're hearing.
They're saying right here, Jeremy Hill does return. It's a big if. And you got healthy Alfred Blue. We will have one of the best offenses it's been in years.
I
They got
agree.
high expectations with that Cameron offensive coach. That's all I can say. I tell you who they got high. I want to see. I can't wait to see Zach Mettenberg. I can't wait to see.
Hey, I sent you the link, Dad, you just click on it. I sent you the link of it. But here's the deal. I agree with you. But I think, all in all, we had high expectations for Mettenberger. You got to agree
He better
that
show me something. He better show me something.
he improved at the end of the year. Can you not agree with that? I mean, he improved.
But he got a lot of shoes. I want to see this year with Cam Cameron. They say after this year, the way it looks, every pro team's gonna be biting at the bit for him. That's how good he is. I want to see this.
You talking about Mettenberger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how much he improved. I want to see it. He ain't showed me nothing.
Well, last year he did at the end of the year. Keep in mind he had no running. I mean, well, I'll say that. He had no play calling. I think it's going to make a difference at, the type of play calling that's going to come in from Cameron. I think that's going to definitely make a difference there. I really do.
I hope. It ain't letting me load it up, Lane. I'm trying to get the pictures off of here. It ain't.
Well, no, I posted the site. You just got to click on the site.
Yeah, I did. But then,
But the thing is that what we continue to get at here, and I know we keep going round and round, is that maybe our expectations might be a little high, but we expect to win around here. And we don't have the recruiting class lately that matches Alabama's. Mine pulled up, but the thing is...
I got it here, Lane. I got it. Thank you. I got
You
it.
see that collage? I wanted to compare this collage. Look at the names on it. You got a Plexico, and it's all Alabama drafted.
Yep.
Isn't
that something?
That's all. I'm sorry, I was wrong. That's not just him. That's from 91 to 2003. That's Alabama.
Right. It's 91 to 2013.
Yeah, 2013. I'm sorry, I said 2003. But yeah, it's got a nice little name on there. But look, you got Dorsey. Well, no, that can't be right because he's got Dorsey's name on there. He's got Jamarcus Russell's. That's everyone
right.
that
I was fixing to say that. What?
No, it's not us. It's got Alabama players on there too. It's him. It's him. It's every player he sent to the NFL.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I see that. I'm looking at it. I see that.
As head coach, Coach Saban has coached or recruited 111 NFL draft picks. That's amazing. This is what you see. This right here. We weren't supposed to see this. He's sending this to draft prospects. I mean to recruits. This is what he gives to his recruits.
Right.
He's getting saying, "Hey, you come play for me." He's gonna go.
Well, what he's trying to do is say, "Look, you come play for me, and this is what happens."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'll be 1 second.
No, okay. And things are gonna. things are going to be like that, I guess. You're going to have teams that are going to mop up in recruiting. But for the most point, you could say, for instance, Michigan every year, Ohio State, Alabama, LSU. At some point, they're going to get recruits just because of their name. You're going to get a certain amount of recruits just for having that big college name. But to get a top 10, top 20 recruiting class nowadays, it takes sometimes luck, and it takes a good recruiter. Look at Ole Miss. Ole Miss this year ends up one of the top recruiting classes in college football, and they're not doing it because of really, really good recruitment. They're doing it because they got one good player, and the rest followed. His brother followed, and this and that.
LSU almost had him. We almost got him. You know that. We
almost got him, man. But what I was saying, you're going to get a certain number of recruits that every year because of your name. Every big school, like LSU, gets a certain amount of recruits every year just because they have that LSU name. Right. It's every year. Alabama too, everybody. But to be one of the top teams in recruits, you have to have a really good head coach who can recruit, and sometimes it takes a little luck. As I was saying. But we just wanted to kind of talk a little college football. We're going to move on to the Saints here. Things are moving along pretty well. I'm hearing that the defensive tackle spot is looking a lot better. The depth of it is looking a lot better, and I'm glad. It looks like we're going to use Akeem Hicks at defensive tackle. We got John Jenkins. We drafted in the 3rd round. We just added some depth. And we got that Atayu that we added too. Ezeko Atayu. He spent some time with the Dolphins and the Jets. In other words, we got some depth now.
We need it. Woo!
And because we got into it either last week or the week before, we just didn't put pressure on the quarterback in regular drop back situations. We had to go all out blitz to put in, just a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. Right. Well, you can't blitz every time because the problem with that, you're going to leave receivers open. Because when you're blitzing, you're sending corners that are supposed to be covering receivers. You're sending linebackers that are supposed to be covering somebody. And it's going to leave somebody open somewhere down the field. It's great to blitz, but you can't blitz every time because it's like you said, it's going to be red. It's gonna be picked up, but there was an article on Saints Report about the Saints need to phase Mark Ingram out of the running game. It's something I didn't get it.
Do what?
Yeah, listen to this. The Saints are a team. Listen to that balance case suspension. However, the Saints offense didn't miss too much of a beat last year with star quarterback Drew Brees. They're saying that they need to phase Mark Ingram out. But I don't know what the problem. People keep bloating against Mark Ingram, but he had 4 yards a carry last year. And we argued about this last year. I was kind of
hard on him last week. After we got off the air and all this week, I thought about it. I kind of was hard on him. He did do better than what I was just expecting so much. He did do better. I just hated Aubrey Lee, and I just kind of do the blame on him.
But the thing is, I hated Aubrey Lee too. What we got for him, I'm especially happy. For what we ended up getting, for we needed some defensive tackle help.
Oh yeah, I didn't know this, Lane. That Jake Matthews, that offensive tackle, from Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
He has some strong football genes of the son of former Houston All. Remember him? NFL Hall of Fame offensive lineman Bruce Matthews.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
No. See, it's always, man, if you go back, there's always some ties somewhere. You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
It's always some ties of the cousin or the uncle. You know what I mean? I don't know how they do it, but it's always some ties somewhere.
You're right.
Yep. It makes you wonder how the genes go,
Well, I mean, it's not every time. Yeah, you do have a lot of. Well, I mean, think about it. If you have, like, just talk about the Mannings. Okay,
Yeah.
you got the daddy and the two sons who all end up playing. But both sons were better than the daddy ever was.
Oh,
Eli, was better, and Peyton. But, of course, they had better teams than what he had, too. We got to say that.
Well, that was years ago when he didn't have the. Well, he got beat up, yeah. Woo!
No offensive line. He would get destroyed. But
Well, he
what
took
I'm
some
saying
licks, yeah.
is, I wonder, okay, you look at Eli, you look at Peyton. I wonder if their talent came from. Plus, you have another brother. He was a receiver.
Yeah.
They said he was unreal, but he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt or something.
Yeah, and then because he was talented, he was going to Tennessee with Peyton Manning, but he got hurt. He busted his knee up. But the thing is what makes you wonder is it because Archie taught them to be quarterbacks like that, and he knew exactly what to teach, or is that all genetics?
Oh, no, Lane. It got a lot to do with genetics, but they got film. They'll show you. When Peyton Manning was small, of his daddy working with him when he was a kid. I seen it. You could go back and look at that. He worked with him, Lane. Oh, yeah. He had the genes, plus he taught him. Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know?
Yeah.
That's a proven fact. You want to go back, go to YouTube. He'll show you when they were young. He'd work with them, man. They would eat and sleep football. You know?
And that's the Mannings, though. But that was the only sign for the week, was that defensive tackle Ezekiel Atui. I don't even know how to pronounce that guy's name, but yeah, he's. And how about Drew Brees making a statement saying that he wants to score every time we touch the ball, which would be impossible. But hey, that's some good, that's some good.
I didn't even want to even bring that up. Yeah, you know what I mean. He just sometimes Drew Brees, he likes to kind of go overboard.
Well, he likes to show how confident he is.
Yeah, with the media. I didn't mean y'all. I don't mean playing. I'm talking about the media.
Right. And how about?
He's all excited,
Oh yeah, he's like you said, he's very, very, very motivated. And how about Jonathan Vilma saying that it was worth? And I like this comment. It was worth taking a pay cut to stay with the New Orleans Saints.
Well, he had no choice.
He wasn't going nowhere else.
He wasn't going nowhere else. Everybody make a big deal about that. I'm surprised. He must have took a big cut.
Well, here it is.
Yeah,
he went from $6 million in salary and bonuses for $1.2 million. He took a $5 million pay cut.
Well, he wasn't going nowhere else. He wasn't going nowhere else.
He would have got picked up by somebody for more money than that. Yeah, he would have. Oh yeah, Dad. $1 million a year. As good as he is, he's still got talent. He's still got some gas left in the tank. He's only 31 years old. Oh yeah, he could have went. Believe me, if he wanted to make more money than that, he could have went somewhere else. He wanted to stay with the Saints.
Probably making something else on the side. Believe me, more good.
No.
Really?
You believe me, the Saints with all the stuff the Saints are going through right now with that bounty and everything. You think they're gonna try to do something underneath the table? No.
Yeah.
It's too risky. They're not gonna do that. There might be bonuses that we don't know about, but odds are, like he'll make. Now hold on, that's $1 million, but he goes to a Pro Bowl or gets a bunch of tackles or makes the playoffs. Oh, yeah. He's gonna get a bonus.
There's more to it, but I like the conversation Sean Payton said the other day. Please, media, leave us alone. In other words, he don't even want the media buyer.
You can't do that. Yeah, but that's not right.
That's
not right at all.
You got to understand, Lane. You got a chip on the shoulder. He got a chip on the shoulder.
He should be saying
He wants to be left alone. He wants to be left alone.
That's not how the NFL works. Time out, though. There's contracts. And that's what pisses me off about coaches. Oh, I don't want the media. I don't care if you don't want the media. The media is the reason why you get paid, because without us fans caring about what you're doing, you don't get paid. Every other coach doesn't complain when the media is brought into their faces. Nobody likes the media.
So Sean Payton shouldn't have said that, huh?
No.
He's like, leave us alone. he got a chip on his shoulder. But you know what? People want to know what's going on.
Exactly. Without the media.
I see what you're talking about.
If the NFL stops, if the media stops covering the NFL is nothing. It's over with. Without the media, the NFL is nothing. Just remember that. And without us fans caring.
From September to January, to February. They want people to know what's going on. I see what you're saying.
Exactly. And I understand he probably doesn't want reporters in his face, Dad.
Yeah.
But you can't just flat out say, we don't want y'all, leave me alone. Because it makes it look like you don't care about the fans. And that's the whole reason why he gets paid, Dad.
Right.
But we're running out of time here. Let's get into Coyote's segment real quick. And let's get into some, as we play your song, Dad, go ahead and get into some news and notes of your segment.
Okay, just real quick. We're going to talk a little softball, LSU, real quick. They hosted a region at Tiger Park. Well, they won against Central Connecticut. It's double elimination. Long story short, UL Lafayette, hats off to them, y'all. We go win against Connecticut. We have to beat UL twice. They took care of that today at 1 o'clock. Y'all, they beat LSU. They are out. LSU is out. The NCAA region lane. What's the deal with the UL girls? They that good?
Well, yeah, I heard that they were on the same level. The UL baseball coach, I listened to her on the radio the other day. And the way that they were talking, UL had as good as a team as what LSU had.
Well, they ranked 21, UL Lafayette. We ranked 9. But, Paul, can you imagine to come to Tiger Park and beat us too? They got us.
That's good. I mean,
yeah, well, hey.
I'm happy.
You're gonna hear a lot down south this week, Lane, when you working down south.
You're gonna hear.
You're gonna hear a lot because that's rivals. But going to baseball, the LSU Tigers had a good series this weekend. Real quick, y'all. So many words. They won the first and second game. The third game, they didn't even play their starters. We had them 9 runs. They come back and beat us against Ole Miss. But you know what? LSU didn't even they got their starters to sit down. So they turned around and lost the rubber game. You call it, Lane?
Well, it's not. I don't call it a rubber game if the series is already won. To me, the game 3 ain't.
Oh, okay. I see.
Some people still call it the rubber game, but I heard rubber in game 3 means it's for all the marbles. It's tied 1-1.
Right.
But some people look at it differently. Right. Yeah. Some people look at it differently. Real quick, this is news and notes. Today, LSU sets regular season attendance record for today at their baseball game.
They didn't play today.
I'm sorry, Saturday at their baseball game. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Thursday to Saturday series.
Right. And that's what I heard.
And hats off to LSU, y'all. That's the best season they had in history. They renamed the park. You heard about that, Elaine? Big deal with Skip Bertman.
Here's I'm sorry, not to interrupt you.
Yeah.
They set the whole regular, and we're going to go back to you. They're going to set the whole regular season record. The number is coming out to be 413,588. That's their combined fans, Dad, from out the whole season. Yeah, but think about it.
That's great.
It takes football like 4 games to do that.
Yeah.
But
well, hold on, Lane. That's a different class now.
They set an attendance record. How about that?
That's unreal.
But Dad, go ahead now about the what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was it's still called Alex Box, but Bertman, he went.
No, let me tell you what it's called. It's called Skip Bertman Field at Alex Box Stadium.
At Alex Box.
They're calling the field Skip Bertman Field. It's his field. The stadium is still Alex Box. But go ahead.
Right. Oh, yeah, well, you just answered it. They under Bertman, they had 6 College World Series championships. Isn't that something? But hold on, this year under Paul Manera, they won more games.
Right.
But Bertman knew, Lane, when to put the guys at the end of the season. When you know what I mean. So, real quick, y'all. I'm going to give y'all a SEC tournament schedule real quick. We do play. LSU plays. Be the number 2 seed. Tell y'all real quick. Vanderbilt number 1, LSU number 2, Arkansas 3, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Florida, Texas A&M, Auburn, Kentucky, and Missouri. That's your 12 teams. LSU,
I was right. Hold on. I was right. Everybody said that they were going to stay at 10 teams. They cranked it up to 12 now because there's 14 teams in the league.
You're right. 12 teams.
You kept arguing with me about that, but we run out of time. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're going to play on Cox. Yes. On Cox, my station. We're going to play Wednesday, but I'll be working at 12 o'clock, Lane. Anyway, Bertman, like the old saying, we don't want to go 2-0. You're going to have Nola pitch in the first game, and after that, that's it. We want to win at least 3 games and go home. Are you going to go all the way and meet Vanderbilt? Who knows? They think, you don't want to burn yourself out. But anyway, Lane, that's the story. Hats off to the baseball team this year. But it's nothing unless you win. You did all that work for nothing. You got to win your region, super region, and go to the big dance, you call it. Lane? The big dance.
The big show to College World Series.
Yeah. If not, all what they did is useless. You know that.
You're exactly right, Paul. You're exactly right.
Like I said, when it comes, I didn't jump the bandwagon. I usually, every year, watch the World Series when it comes to baseball because that's the best of the best. So, Omaha, they want LSU in there. The fans.
They bring a big fan base.
We bring money. That's what it's all about.
Exactly, and we're going to cover that next week on Cajun Sports Radio. Guys, we appreciate everybody listening. We go to 2 hours next week. We bring it to 2 hours. We're going to have, in the 2-hour format, though, 2 to 4 commercials. Break. I'm sorry. Now, we're going to eliminate it to 2 commercials. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Our commercial breaks aren't long. And if you are a business and need a little pickup and try to maybe get to the people around here, we can help you out. We have very, very cheap advertising rates. So look into that, Dad. Right now, and those people we're in contact with. Guys, we appreciate it. Look for us on Friday nights or Saturday morning to see what time.
I want to say one more thing, though, Lane. I didn't get to tell you real quick about basketball. The news is in basketball, y'all. We didn't want this to happen. I don't know why he's leaving. I guess because of the new recruits coming in. About Morgan Lane, he's good. He wants to leave LSU.
Yeah, I heard about him.
But we don't want that. You know that. He's we didn't want that. He's 6'4". We watched him play, Lane, me and you. He's good.
He wasn't a big
I think he's leaving?
He's not going to play now. He's not going to start. I know why.
That's right, but that's what I say.
He didn't play much. Believe me.
No, he didn't play much.
I'll sacrifice him leaving over Johnny O'Brien or one of them recruits. That happens in college basketball all the time. This isn't going to hurt LSU like you think it will. Trust me.
And hats off to Nikki Caldwell, the basketball coach, y'all. For the second year in a row, she got chosen for the head coaching to represent the United States as assistant coach for the 2013 USA Basketball World Championship team. You know how good that is, Lane?
Very good.
Yep.
Very
okay.
Good.
Y'all, thank y'all for listening. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all, especially. Look for us either late Friday night, early Saturday morning. We'll update y'all on the times. Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you're just joining us, we start the show and get into that. This is Cajun Sports Radio. We are presented by Best Bike ATV. For Coyote, I'm Lane. Thanks for listening.
Thank
y'all. Great work week.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.